What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? I done came down here, man. I done talked up a storm. I was not planning on doing a video. I came down here to do some other things, but this is an exclusive, man. I'm in my wife beater. Don't call it that no more, Michael. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, man. I done talked for 4 or 5 minutes and the mic wasn't on. But I was saying things like I'm a little upset, man. I went upstairs and laid down. I stayed down here for about 9 hours covering this thing, man. And people were thinking that they wasn't going to have a sentencing until Monday. So many people supposed to speak. Then all these people backed out or whatever the case may be. Long story short, Tisha, she's a little upset and thinking that she should have got more time. But at the end of this video, I'm going to break down why I think the sentence that he has was, why it was given to him this way, for they won't have, appeal and all that dumb stuff. But anyway, this is an exclusive right here, man. I'm going to tell y'all why in a minute. Wait a minute. Watch this. Diddy sentenced to 50 months after performative speech. 5-year probation will keep victims safe. 5-year probation will keep victims safe. I don't know what that means. If Diddy's out making moves, he's gonna be able to get the people. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Y'all know how we do. Let's check this bad boy. Man, my computer's moving real slow.
We are doing what we can. Diddy has been convicted. You guys, we have to talk about how you feel about this, okay?
Watch this, y'all.
Diddy's been convicted. They're saying it's 40 months, 5 years supervised probation. People are saying that this is going to keep the victim safe. And I gotta ask, how are you guys feeling about this? Listen, Judge Aaron literally did his best to say that. Thank you. Judge Aaron did his best to protect the victims as well as to protect Diddy. It was a lot, okay? So, what do we think about this? What do you think about this, huh? Okay, listen. Who thinks it's sad? What do y'all think about this? Listen, Judge Aaron gave an impassioned speech. It was a lot, okay? Diddy got 40 months, 40 months, not 44. He got 40 months. It's going to include time served. That means that with the time served, he's going to get about he's done 12 years, 42 months. So that means he's looking at about 3 years in prison, okay? He's also going to get 5 years of supervised release. Let me get some light on me. He's also going to get 5 years of supervised release probation, which means that, the cops won't be on his butt. He said that he literally really appreciated Diddy's family talking. He appreciated the character witnesses. He appreciated all the people that said they were going to keep Diddy safe. And he said in the end, it's not enough. You need to be held accountable. He thanked Cassie and he thanked Jane. Judge Aaron 100% believes that they were victims. He actually took issue and called out Diddy's team for still insisting that it was consensual. He took a firm line and listen, do I wish it was more time? I wish it would have at least been 5 years, okay? Diddy gave the speech where he was crying, he was talking about his people, he was talking about this. I didn't buy it. I didn't think it was sincere. But that's just me. I didn't think it was sincere. I'm familiar with his game. I know performative mess. I think it was performative. However, thank God that he has 5 years of supervised probation after that. That will keep the victims safe.
So you're talking about 3 years in jail, or whenever he get out, right? Whenever he get out, he still got 5 months probation. Man, this is some small numbers.
That will keep any woman he dates in the future safe. If he ever does another Jane, he will be going to jail. That will be a violation of his probation. He will be forced to drugs. He will be forced to go into rehab. He will be forced to do a lot of things, right? Again, I agree. Who said, right? Who said, I'm glad he got something, but it's not enough. If they didn't scare Mia, maybe it would have been more. You know, I'm very sad that Mia chose not to show up. I was waiting for her to speak. I was waiting for any of the victims to speak. But you know what? I thought about it, and I really just had to say, Mia, Jane, Cassie, Deontay, Bonna, everybody, Capricorn Clark, you know, even Chef Jordan, who didn't testify, but she made testimony on social media. They don't owe us anything. They told the world who Diddy was. The world said, we don't care. The world said, we don't think it's Rico.
The fact that they didn't show up or they didn't testify, that should speak volume on its own, because they scared, because they seen what this man can do. Man, 4 years and 5-year probation, not the best, but something for us survivors all over the world. This is sad, man.
We don't think it's sex trafficking, because apparently the only sex trafficking you can have is taken from, like, an excerpt out of Taken. They literally said, hold on, let me find a good spot. Okay, I like this shot, sorry. They said, listen, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. So at the... Hey.
You all the way from Miami.
Oh, thank you, Mama. What's your name?
I love you.
What's your name?
Even though I'm Maylee Bellamy.
Shout out to Maylee Bellamy. Thank you. Come say hi when you're done.
I will.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, stop.
I can't.
She's making me crush. Okay, so listen. So they literally said, listen, we don't care. Would have I liked more victim statements? Would I liked to see them in tears and really giving emotion and pulling Judge Aaron so he gave him closer to 6 or 7 years? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, they went into court. Oh, they went into court. Hold on, let me come back over here. They went in court. They humiliate. You know this New York weather's always killing me. All right, so they went into court, right?
Her mic went out. Wait a minute, y'all.
Okay, so they went into court. Thank you. They went into court. I have a Mickey Mouse stand. Best Buy, count your days. Hold on.
Best Buy, count your days.
Okay, there we go. I think we got something going on. Okay, there we go. At the end of the day, they went into court. They humiliated themselves. They told the most humiliating, painful, horrible sections of their life. And they were literally ridiculed across the internet. Y'all know, because half the time I was screaming and crying, you shouldn't be doing that. Why y'all talking to them like this? Their lives were turned upside down. Their marriages were made into a joke. They were called this and that and gold diggers and blah, 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 blah. They were called everything. So do they owe us anything? Absolutely not. They did what we could. The jury, in my opinion, dropped the ball. Judge Aaron tried to pick it up, but he was very, very limited by what he could pick it out with. Honeybee Therapy said, thank you for keeping us updated. We love you. I love you too, Honeybee. Thank you. So what were some of the things that Judge Aaron said? He gave a very, very moving speech, right? Okay. Where he was trying to balance the fact. I think, honestly, having the kids cry really did something to Judge Aaron. There's only so much you can work, which is why I wish the victims would have actually given a statement. But at the end of the day, it's their lives to lead, okay? Now, what actually happened? Judge Aaron kept saying that he was trying to balance stuff, right? He wanted, on one hand, that, yeah, you're a great man. Yeah, you did the community. Let me just say this. Nicole Westmoreland, the thing is, Judge Aaron is a very smart man, but you can tell he don't know anything about early hip-hop. Diddy was known for exploiting the artist. As much as he built a bad boy legacy, he built it on the back of just himself. Even his legacy was selfish. And I literally was just sitting in the back being like, you talking to someone that don't actually know Diddy's game from the music industry, but whatever. I'm not a judge, as you see why, right? Oh, also, I want to say thank you to Tatum for being a member for 4 months. You welcome, you welcome, you welcome. Listen, let me tell you something. And let me tell you something. Judge Aaron said that he was trying to make sure that the victims had their thing. Oh, thank you, Ocean. Wait, what did Ocean say? Ocean said, Angelica Serrano said, keeping us updated. Love your coverage. Thank you. Hold on, I'm looking for Ocean. Dory said, thank you for all your hard work, girl. And also, Tatum, hold on, I'm looking for Ocean's comments. Let's get in here. Mama, why don't you come over here? Listen, there's somebody that I want to, because I wanted to actually talk to people on the street and actually see what it was. Mama, why don't you get over here?
Miss Mary Jane.
Miss Mary Jane, thank you.
Miss Tisa, I love you so
Jane,
much.
Thank you.
Tisa, you work so hard.
But Mary Jane, listen,
You're an amazing journalist. I just have to tell you that.
They don't even see you.
I just have to tell Tisa that she does not know what she does for victims and survivors like me.
Mary Jane, how do you feel about the verdict?
I feel that the verdict was extremely fair. I feel that the judge, we all broke down. I'm still shaking. The judge was so fair, and what I want to commend that judge on being fair was that he didn't just take the side of the victims and survivors. He took in accountability the abuser as well. And we do have to acknowledge that Diddy had a problem. He had a problem. Mental illness is real. And let's understand, drug abuse is real.
Sorry, y'all. I'll turn this mic off in a minute, trying to give y'all the best quality. Doris Grant says, not fair. No. And did he get time served? That's what people are asking. These are the people that don't keep up with stuff. Looks like he got a pardon from Trump. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
And drug abuse causes mental illness as well. And we know that Diddy was abusing a lot of drugs.
Do you think it was drug abuse when he was using
drug abuse.
Do you think when he was using it just to get a better orgasm?
The drugs are extremely addictive. I was at his early freak-offs.
Okay.
I was at when he first started the freak-offs. Okay, so I went to Morgan State University in the 90s, about 93, 94, and Diddy went to Howard. So that's how we aligned, but my mom used to party with Diddy's mom, and so I knew how Diddy had learned the freak-offs from his mom. Okay. Which my mom told me about. Okay, but back to the drug use is long-term drug. He's been using drugs for a long time. But I can remember when he didn't use drugs, when he was in college, and you couldn't even smoke a joint around Diddy the way he was originally.
So you think the jury was
extremely fair? I commend.
Me too. I remember when Diddy was real health conscious. He wouldn't smoke. You couldn't smoke drugs around him. Get that stuff from around me, man. I don't even want to smell it. I don't want to see it. That's how Diddy was when he was in Howard. I'm telling you, she right. She know what she talking about. I think she's real trustworthy. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I remember that.
It's long-term drug. He's been using drugs for a long time. But I can remember when he didn't use drugs, when he was in college, and you couldn't even smoke a joint around Diddy the way he was originally.
So you think the jury was
extremely fair? I commend the jury. Yeah. I commend the judge. I want to say love to Miss Cassie. Thank you for even starting this, and Miss Tisa. Telling it and giving a voice to people like me, because I held how I was abused for so many years, and I would listen to her, and she would, she's an angel, guys. She encourages women like me to come out and speak and lift my voice. I was never gonna tell anyone how my boyfriend busted me in my head and I had 17 stitches, and why I wear hair pieces to this day, because you never get over the scars. And even when I pressed charges on my boyfriend for attempted murder on me back in 1998, when I dropped out of college from partying with Diddy, I wanted to follow his steps, and I came home, and the fear it took for me to speak up, to press charges at that time.
Girlfriend gone.
So for me, my thing is lift voices And that's why I'm so happy to finally meet Miss Tisa, because she doesn't know how many people she touched around the world like she touched me. A survivor that her voice repeatedly saying, it's okay to tell your story. It is okay. Because at the end of the day, we need justice. We need women to know that you can tell your story and that there will be justice. You see, the guy that busted my head, I thought he was going to be in jail forever. And I tell you, literally less than a month, the court system let him out. And I was out with friends.
And that is a situation that so many people with domestic violence actually face. And that's why, thank you so much, Mama. I appreciate it. Thank you. Reach out to me, definitely. I would love to.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Continue to support Tisa Tells. And if you know anyone who is a survivor, my cousin killed his girlfriend. He hung out with me for the whole entire day. He said, cuz, do you have a cigarette? He acted as if they just had an argument. At the end of the night, I had to return her son home. And when I opened the door, I said her name. Her name is Shauna. He plummeted her head with the hammer. He sliced the guy's throat. I just want to say that you never know what people are going through. I had to tell that 6-year-old boy when he looked up at me, is my mommy burning up inside of there, because there was a fire. And I had no idea that my cousin set his mom on fire.
Listen, we have to talk about this off YouTube, but I would love to talk to you.
I'm so sorry if I said too much.
Listen, but it's okay. But listen, let me...
That you encourage us to lift our voice. And I just want to say, if there's anyone out there, reach out to Tisa, reach out to me, talk to someone. Continue to be a survivor. Thank you so much. And justice for everyone, the abusers as well as the abusers.
Thank you so much.
And definitely the children.
Thank you. So you're welcome. So you guys, listen, all right? At the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, there's so many people that said they were abused. The trauma is unbelievable. I want to thank Ginger Mott for the super chat. Also, I want to thank Linda Alois. I also want to thank Maxine Cross at Tisa. Thank you for all you do. Your work ethic is everything. And also, I want to thank Moni W for being a member for 17 months. Thank you. Okay, so listen, right?
Listen. Okay, here we go.
So we're in the courtroom. Judge Aaron, again, she said that she thinks that it was very, very fair to Diddy. Tangi Williams said, I don't agree with you, but I do appreciate you keeping me updated the entire trial. I feel like people do change. I'm a Diddy fan, but more than that, I believe in people and God. Let me tell you something, right? Thank you so much for that, right, Tangi? This is what I think, right? I think Diddy should have gotten more time, right? Because I am familiar with Diddy's game, okay? And I think he should have got more time. But I think this was the maximum Judge Aaron thought he could go without being appealed. And he did what needed to be done, okay? I think the fact that he has 5 years probation, I think the fact, so Judge Aaron was saying, you know, it's great you have family, it's great you have friends, and you have all that. But he said, after he delivered the sentence, Diddy went like this, right? And because I really think he thought he was walking home. Side note, why was his attorneys in there? The prosecution was like, yo, you know this man had a speaking engagement? Why did his attorney say, and not a speaking engagement? He's just going to speak to prisoners about how to be better. And I said, but why you scheduled it on Monday? Did you think you were getting out? Guess that speaking engagement is canceled. And then they were like, it's not a speaking engagement. Yeah. He's going to go to prison and speak to prisoners.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny right there. You got a speaking engagement. I guess that joint canceled now. I hit stop. I don't know why my computer. I meant to restart the computer, y'all. I wanted to show y'all. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, y'all. Okay, we just gonna keep going.
And then go all over the world. No, all over the world and communities to speak. And I said, so you mean a speaking engagement? Man, what are you talking about? Diddy's team, Brian Still also. Brian Still, hold on, let me get into my notes. Because Brian Still was on one. Please believe to God. Woo! Byron Blackburn said, bye. Justice for Jesus' ears. What's on my ears? Justice for Tisa's ears. Okay. So anyway, also Layla Gabin said, I'm a substance use counselor. Drugs turn people into monsters. I agree with her 100%. Drugs do turn people into monsters, but Let me tell you something. Oh, Cody Co 39 said, thank you for covering Tisa. Boo, Diddy should have gotten more time. I disagree with that lady. The victims did not receive justice. He will get out and do it again. Sickening. That's my fear. Well, here's the thing. He has 5 years probation, guys, right? 4 years, 2 months. Diddy's people thought that they were like, listen, Erica said, bless you, your energy and your hair, girl. Listen. So let's talk about some of the more ridiculous things. After Judge Aaron delivered the verdict, he turned to Diddy and he said, I know you sit here sitting in despair, right? But these women endured more than you're feeling right now. They said there is a light at the end. He told them there's a light at the end of this tunnel. And then he said, I know a lot of people wrote you character references, but he said, let them lift you up now. Like you lifted them up. And I literally was like,
man, I keep hitting stop and the thing won't stop, man. Hey, yeah. That girl, the girl that just got off screen, acting. This is what I keep talking about, acting. You know, she on camera says, I think it was fair. No, you don't. Say what you mean. And people in the chat room say, I don't think it was fair. Tisha Tell don't think it's fair. And Uncle Mike don't think it was fair. And now my computer is dragging.
He said, let them lift you up now. He said, let them lift you up now. Yeah, like they lifted you up. They said Diddy gave a big sigh because that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to go home. And he said he read a bunch of excerpts from the loving statement. And he says things they talk about happen. The things the victim talk about happen all over the country, right? And he said to Diddy, you have voices. No, we have voices, but you have a megaphone. And I said, he has a megaphone, but that's why he needs to be so careful in what he says. And then he says, listen, you said you lost your way, but there is a true path to redemption, and that path is sitting your ass in jail, Diddy. That is the path for redemption.
The Music Recording Network. The Music Recording Network. Up in the chat room, baby. Told you I got a surprise for you.
A Music Recording Network, thank you, Mama, said Diddy will get more time. We need to remember this is a chess game. We just need to wait. Love you, Tisa. Tell it all. Okay, so this is my point, Music Network, and everybody needs to realize this. First of all, everybody take a victory.
What in the world, girl? She run 100 miles an hour, boy. She is so precious. She said the Music Recording Network. I went on and gave her a super
but
chat.
that's why he needs to be so careful in what he says.
I gave her a
and
super
then he
chat,
says,
y'all.
listen, you said you lost your way, but there is a true path to redemption, and that path is sitting your ass in jail, Diddy. That is the path for redemption. A Music Recording Network, thank you, Mama, said Diddy will get more time. We need to remember this is a chess game. We just need to wait. Love you, Tisa. Tell it all. Okay, so this is my point, Music Network, and everybody needs to realize this. First of all, everybody take a victory lap for everybody that said that Diddy wasn't getting time, for everybody that said that domestic violence wasn't really violence, for everybody that said, oh, well, those girls wanted it. Take a victory lap right now, because at the end of the day, it was all BS. And this, I'll tell you what, a lot of the men that said, I don't believe Cassie, I don't believe Jane, I don't believe it, they literally wanted to storm out the court. There were a lot of disappointing things. And again, remember with the Didiots that were going crazy, I never care if you boo. We never care if you boo us because we've seen what you clap for, and you clap for depravity. And that depravity is sitting in jail right now. He is going to have to go to even a worse jail. He's probably going to end up doing 3 years, 8 months, or 36 months, okay? Now, here's the thing, right? He said a thank you to Cassie and them. He said to the strong women who came in and said the narrative of modern day love story. Nothing was great. Nothing was modern. Right. Nothing was loving. Let me tell you something. I appreciated Judge Aaron. I think he feels like he did the best he did. I think for the hell did he put people through? Because here's the thing you got to remember when you get in trouble with the cops. They're only showing you what they can prove. They're not showing everything. They're only showing you what you can prove, okay? And when what they could show, what they could prove, you have to know it happened 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. Driscoll, one of Diddy's attorneys, made an argument that, it was $1.4 million. And they said, well, if you add up how much he paid the free calls, which were $5,000 a pop, That's about 94 freak offs, and he did 124. So he's actually batting at 1.7 million. Did he spend 104 million to see those busted? Can we also say Diddy's escort roster was washed? I assume if you're paying for sex, you're looking for a genetic anomaly, someone that looks like they came down from heaven. Every guy that he paid, I said, oh my God, that was our first term that it was, that was my first thing that there was trauma in his life, because I was like, there's no way you're paying $5,000 for that face. I don't care. I don't care. And they were like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's only what's in the pants. And I'm like, well, how are you even going to get there? Because what are you doing?
Look, Douglo Lover, Dougo Love, Doggo Lover, Lover. Anyway, Lil Rod trial starts soon. He has a lot more cases, and I'm sure he's running out of money. These lawyers ain't cheap. Yeah. And he's I guess, what is this click? I don't know what this is, y'all. Oh, he put this under my comment. I don't know how to do this part, y'all. And somebody else said, how? Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that I sent her a super chat, and we're going to talk about this at the end. Let's go.
Spent way more than that.
Yes.
Think about it. On his 50th birthday, he spent $1 million just on the pre-party before the pre-party.
Yeah.
Did he spend millions on parties?
Yeah, he spends millions on parties.
Trust me, they played that part.
Yeah, they were being mean.
So he paid.
He said, we heard you, and these are horrible acts. Right. Again, it's more than people thought that it would actually, the Diddy people want it, but I still do think for everything Jane and Cassie and the women that didn't have the balls to come forward, right? For the women that dropped out, for the Ginas, for the this, for that, I do think that it should have been more to send a message. But apparently, maybe he was right, because this message has the Diddyites quiet. They are sitting there. They had nothing to say, right? He said there was nothing great, modern, or loving about this. We heard you. We heard these horrible acts. I know your families are proud of you. I am proud of you. He goes, good night. He said the pre-sentencing report, right? He told Diddy, you can go into the outpatient programs, get help for your mental and substance abuse. You weren't speaking to the jury. She told the girls, you weren't speaking to the jury, the victims. You spoke for all victims behind violence, behind closed doors. Most don't speak up. But what you taught us is strength out of a mountain of despair. Hope comes out of it. He said that shows that when out of a mountain of despair, the gem of hope comes out. I was just like, all right, he was in his poet bag. I was like, all right, cool. Valentine TV, thank you for the super chat. So that's what happened. Now, some of them were ridiculous things. It's oddly enough funny that what played out for the jury and what the jury seemed to eat up and love, when they tried that on Judge Aaron, it fell flat. Let me just say this, right? When Nicole Westmoreland started breaking down, it was weird. And when I say she was breaking down, she was ugly, crying, nostrils flaring, just to say, because Diddy said 2 words to her. It seemed fake to me, okay? I said, this seems fake, right? But, whatever. You're trying to keep this man out of jail. Then, the girls came up, the boys came up, his kids came up, and they were crying. That was genuine emotion. It broke my heart. I really felt bad, and I had to keep remembering what Cassie said happened to her. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Isabel Velez, the Velez team, LA Real Estate, said women and all victor survivors must speak up. File a police report right away if anything like this ever happens to you. First of all, if you guys ever want real estate in the LA area, make sure you go to the Velez team, VELEZ. But second of all, let's be real. You bring up an interesting point. Diddy's team has taught us 2 things. 1, stop being nice to these people. Next time somebody lays your hand on, make a group chat with his mama, his cousin, his pastor, his preacher. By the way, Diddy bought a pastor to speak on his behalf, and that's why I don't go to church. Because when I tell you what this pastor said, you are going to roll your eyes. Brian Steele, in his argument, actually might have gotten Diddy more time. But my whole point is, you bring up a good point, Isabel, right? The next time, right? The next time that anything happens, put a group chat. Make some evidence. Take a picture of all your bruises. Drop that mess in the group chat so his mama sees what he did to you. Make a chain of events so you will never be in the situation that Cassie is. See, here's the difference between what happened between Cassie and Jane. Cassie and Jane took pity on Diddy. Cassie and Jane still love that mofo, and they hoped he could be better. But the jury has spoken that if you ever want to maybe look out for your future self, present day you, text pictures, go make a police report. Even if you don't pursue it, make some trail so when you are strong enough to walk away and speak up for yourself, you will have the courage.
That's right.
HB5, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, that girl Henny said, thank you for your hard work. That's true. And HB, thank you for thanking me for my work too. And also, Kim South said, 5 years probation means nothing. It's 4 years. 5 years probation means nothing. You're right. When you have henchmen, once he's out, just watch. I hope I'm wrong, but unfortunately, heads are going to roll as ordered. I hope you're wrong too. I don't think Diddy's sincere. I don't think he repented. I think it's all for show. There's the one that Judge Aaron, I feel missed because he's a man. And he is sympathetic and he did his best.
In 3 years, we're going to be living in a different world. And then when Diddy get out, it's going to take him at least 4 or 5 months to get himself together. In 3 years, trust me, dog, technology and everything is about to take over. There's going to be twice as many cameras out in the street. Trust me.
But Diddy was able to sweet talk people back into his harem after he literally stomped their face out, bashed their head in, ripped their hair out. Diddy was able to sweet talk them back into his harem. Diddy was able to make them have smacks with like oogly boogly escorts without protection, infections, illnesses, literally being forced to do it so much you actually throw up and and he was able to sweet talk his way back into that. Do you really think that this mofo standing in front of you, this mofo telling you how he feels, do you honestly really believe he's being sincere? This is what he does. He is a djinn. He is a sweet talker. There's a reason why he kept those girls in purgatory, right? Hold on. There's a reason why he kept those girls in purgatory over and over and over. There is a reason. And the fact that Judge Aaron kind of overlooked that, Life from New York City said the sentence was a slap on the wrist. Typical New York. Listen, we've come a long way in the way we look at domestic violence, trafficking, or the pimpers. The one thing that shocked me is Driscoll was able to get a bunch of cases, over 900 cases, where people did the most horrible things and they only got 19 months, 20 months, a slap on the wrist. To me, I was like, this is a wake-up call as to where we need to be when it comes to domestic violence. We need to start treating domestic violence like we would actually treat violence. The issue isn't Judge Aaron's ruling. The issues are the law and how much legally you are allowed to give without it being cruel and unusual punishment. We need to ask ourselves, right? We need to ask ourselves, why in the world is it normal to only get 19 months, to only get 20 months, to only get whatever? Why is it? Now, I agree with you. Zipper said 5 years probation, he gonna mess up and go right back to jail. I do believe he will. I do. But here's the thing. It is a path for redemption. If you can stay on the straight and narrow for 9 years. Side note, Diddy also said that while he was in jail, he said that he united the Bloods and the Crips. He brought peace to his unit. Everybody said that they would stop fighting so they could have his free game. I wonder if they still gonna want his course now that he's back in jail. What game is that? But everybody was doing that. And then he had the nerve to say that somebody also got into a fight with them and stood over him and held a shank in his face. Yes, I lie to you not. Cloud9 said you're Mount Ancestral for real. You were there till the, thank you. That girl Henny said, thank you for your hard work. See you, I already read that. See you next trial. Listen, who else said, I missed a chat. I just want to, here we go. Tangie Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, mama. Okay, just make sure I'm not missing anybody's chat. Okay, listen. Jane Doe, right? Oh, Valentine TV said, can they add on other charges? They cannot add on other charges. There is no double jeopardy, but they can bring new and different charges against Diddy.
That's it right there. They can bring new charges after this Lil Ron case. And I think the new charges, can be them guns. Well, they threw that out. But I know for a fact, blackmail. I think Diddy was blackmailing people. That's a new charge. And more. I can't think of none right now, y'all. I can't.
And if he violates his parole, I don't know. I guess he goes back to jail for the rest of his parole because it's 5 years. I don't know how violations of parole go. I actually have to look up on that, right? Anyway, the whole point of the matter is, here's what I think also where Diddy's team made a filler error. After Westmoreland was fake crying, then the kids came and real cried. Then after that, the kids came and real cried, and then they showed that dumb montage video. And I'm glad, you can tell why I'm not a judge, because I'd have been like, Counselor, turn that shit off. I don't want to see this shit. This like stupid, you made it on, looking like you made it on CapCut and in shot with some like cheesy background music.
Yeah.
So then that happened. And after that, Diddy would have spoke, right? SP said, what were the kids' reactions after sentencing? Honestly, everybody was super, super deflated. I think that they thought they were coming home. I think because his team actually did the unthinkable and got him off on the RICO, they thought this was another thing. That's why Diddy literally had engagements planned for Monday, but he ain't going.
I think everybody was sad, man. I think this just made everybody sad. And, you got to be like, well, no matter what, he's still in jail. No matter what, Diddy is still in jail, period. The kids are sad because they wanted him to come home. They want instant gratification. That ain't going to happen. Tisha Tells is sad because now all these people are saying, Diddy he going to get out. Ticket was sad. He didn't show it as much as I did. My stomach was hurting. I got a headache. I had to go upstairs, man. Man, I was hoping for that 6 or more, but I can understand why. But let's keep going.
Tickets for the Diddy tour. First of all, you're not seeing heaven, and second of all, you're probably not gonna be able to get your money back because Diddy gonna need it. Ness Dog said, I still believe the feds will indict Puff again. That's how they got John Gotti. The Diddlers is the gay John Gotti. Thank you for your hard work. You're welcome. You might be right. Layla Gaiman said, I support your work, Tisha. You're amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, at the end of the day, you never beat the house. You're not bigger than the program. Again, to bring up John Gotti, when the feds have their eye on you, they keep coming at you over and over and over. The feds were big mad about what happened with the Diddy case. The feds think the jury got it wrong. Diddy better walk the straight and narrow. Char, thank you so much for the super chat. Diddy better walk the straight and narrow because, ooh-wee, he got something coming. So let's get into this. Brian Still said Diddy said that thanks to him, he cursed his children's name. I don't even understand what that meant. Diddy you just be talking? Brian Still, honestly, after that video, Diddy should have talked and then that was it. I think he probably would have even gotten less time. But what happened is, hey, Lord, after lunch, it just went a nosedive. They started making long, boring statements. And at the end of the day, I get it. Brian Still is excellent at talking to a jury that doesn't trust the police, a jury that doesn't trust the government. However, Brian Still, Mercedes Teagle said, oh my God, Tisa, why did Gina show up today? Very weird. Y'all want some tea on that? Hey, get home safely. All right, see ya. Y'all want some tea on Gina? Yeah. See ya. Get home safely. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want. Hold on really quick, guys. Hold on. Let me give you some tea on Gina. Oh, my God. Hold on. Oh, thank you. Okay, so listen.
That's DESTANI, Alabama State, right? I tell her you have to follow.
1 second, you guys.
She's giving out her
You're welcome.
autograph.
Where you from, girl?
Montana. Here you go. Here you go.
You got a friend here.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
You need
Okay.
anything, I got
Thank you.
You're my
Thank
sister. I
you.
love
Thank
you.
you.
Keep
Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, you forgot your hat. So listen, right? Let me give y'all the tea on. Let me give y'all the tea on Gina. Gina always the last slice of pizza. She did all that kung fu Kenny mess for Diddy, and guess what? So when we were all sitting in the seats, right? Diddy, of course, they were squad deep, 3 rows in, squeezed, and more people wanted to be there because they wanted to be there. I get it, mental support, right? They wanted to be there for mental support. So Gina arrives, right? At least I think that, man, it was Gina, right? Gina arrives, and they're in 3 rows, and nobody, like, there was no space for her to squeeze in, and nobody got up and moved over to give her space. Now, I know Diddy's kids and family weren't, but there were a lot of friends of the family that were there. And I said, wow, it's like the last slice of pizza, because how did you literally be like, I'm queen, dummy? You wrote 2 letters, you went to bat, nothing happened, but the feds could have gone after you and forced you to testify, or you could have got charges for, I don't know. The whole point of the matter is Gina really sacrificed a lot to show that she was the real shorty doo-wop for Diddy. And at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, after all that, she had to go and sit in the last row because nobody would get up and give her an honored place. So even after all this, you are still in the same position with Diddy and his crew as you always were. And I said, wow. And she had to go sit in the last row. How you do all this for someone? And we had 3 rows of people squeezed in back to back, and they still made her go sit in the back row with the public because they would not, nobody in the friends and family rule would make room for the girl that wrote 2 character witnesses, played herself through the case, sabotaged the case. Gina is literally the reason why Diddy didn't get convicted of sex trafficking or RICO, in my opinion. She would have been the missing link. And the fact that all that happened and you still had, exactly. But that's another thing. You went in there in anger in the prosecution. You couldn't show up for trial, but you showed up for that. Gina, I hope your taxes are straight because the feds, I don't know. But the point is, you literally went and you had to sit in the public rows because the family and friends wouldn't make room for you. Last slice of pizza, 3 days old. Listen.
Should have got there earlier.
At the end of here's one interesting thing the judge did say. The judge did say that all of all of Diddy's property he used in the commission would be seized for forfeiture. I thought that was really, really interesting too. Okay, so anyway, let's get into Brian Still and some of the most ridiculous things that he actually said. Listen, SA said, as someone who never super chats, I've studied law and I truly hope all you protect yourself. Utilize the law and take care, guys. Diddy is a demon. Thank you. And you guys, take heed. Everybody just needs to protect themselves. Utilize what they can. They need to protect themselves and they need to utilize what they can to actually get ahead. So listen, to make a long story longer, right? To make a long story longer, I will say this. There's a lot going on. Brian Still, oddly enough, he did a horrible job when he was arguing for Diddy. He made some really, 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 he did some like really, really, really odd stuff, right? He really did some odd stuff. And I just want to know why. I want to know what was the reason. I want to know what was the reason. Okay, so let's get down to it, right? Hold on, because he made some. Brian Still just be talking. He just be talking. He's good at what he does, but he tried to do a truly humble under God, and everybody was like, meat, don't know what's going on. Hold on, y'all. He said, where's Brian Still and his 1s and 2s? Hold on. It is so cold in New York. Rosanna Mercury, thank you. So Brian Still said, so he started going down this whole thing about the way like Diddy's where was it at? So Delilah, we went through all the kids. I'll go through this all later, but it is what it is, right? So still, hold on really quick. Listen, Brian still starts off going this. Brian still starts off saying, Your Honor, Diddy's a good man, and he was raised good by a woman that sacrificed everything for him. And that woman right here is here in court right now, Janice Combs. And he turns and the whole court turns to look at Janice Combs. The only problem is there's no Janice Combs. 5 minutes later, Janice Combs come walking in because she was on a bathroom break. So already Brian still was like, oh, okay, right? So then he's like, he comes from a family of drug use, right? The mom, Janice Combs, worked 3 jobs, and they moved to Mount Vernon, but doors were shut because he was black, and teams wouldn't let him play, wouldn't have him, so he had to go back home to Harlem. Maisha Bells at Tisa Towns Day 1, you've done a great job. Thank you for, thank you. And women, love yourself and stay away from men like Diddy. I know that's right. He is not changing. He won't. And Judge Aaron don't know this. Men like that don't change. But Linda Formosa said, thank you. Men like that, at that age, they don't change. They don't change. But we'll see. He said that the doors were shut. The teams wouldn't have him, right? So he went to Howard University. And I said the same Howard University when Rolling Stone said that they had evidence that he beat one of his girlfriends on the quad. Nestdog said, wait, the feds can go after his shit? Yeah, he allowed federal forfeiture for anything he used for a crime. He said he goes into the studio. Everybody says he's the head of AR. He's a genius. He starts Bad Boy Records. He's no drugs. He's a father. You know, he's not on drugs. He's just sad because he lost his father and his uncle. And then he said he started getting PTSD. He literally saw his best friend get murdered. The clothing was soaked in blood. And then 2 BFF friends were murdered after that. He literally said, he was trying to end racism in the record company to break barriers. He said, and since then, he's been high every single day till 2024. He lost his way. And I was like,
damn.
He said he lost his way. He never stopped working. He said, I've been with Sean more than my family. I would not have tried this case he said, Diddy wouldn't even have gone to this case if the government had given him the plea deal. The government said, no, we're not giving you ish, right? And he said, at night, he sleeps in jail and he bangs his head against the wall, begging, asking himself why, begging to apologize to his victim. Trezan said, Issei was right. We must protect our girls. Tisa tells it all. Oh, thank you. Listen, it's not just me. Women, from now on with abusers, treat them like they treat you. It's a new day and age. I don't know. It's a new day and age. Listen. Anyway, Brian still keeps going on into Diddy's origin story. He said, I've been with him and prayed for forgiveness and healing, right? And I said, you know what? Brian's still cooking a little bit here. This is before it got boring. I said, Diddy should have had Brian write his letter, Young Miami's letter, who else's letter, right? He said, and also, Young Miami, it's your move. You wrote a letter. Gina showed up in court. She showed you who the real Shorty Wop was. She is down for her man. Sherry Kempthorne said, go. Young Miami is your move. Anyway, he said, Sean Diddy Combs is not the typical person in custody, right? He said, guard, stop. Oh, they said also, he's not the typical person. He said, he's a high person, and people want to use him as a trophy in jail. I said, I know that's right. He said, the guard stopped the person with a shank on top of him, about to cut him. And that's when I said, whoever that guard was, you need to cut his salary. Ooh, you could have saved us all 2 years of problems. Anyway, he said, and then I said, but how was somebody over you with a shank like it's season 1 of Oz when you just told us that he basically ended all gang violence in his unit? Yeah, and listen, know, right? He said and then he said this. He said, and he walks around. He eats chips all day long. I was sitting there because y'all know I'm on a health journey. And I was like, that sounds like heaven to be able to eat potato chips all day long, I guess. Donna W said, Diddy is a punk, period. Great work, Tisa. Thank you, Donna. But like Maureen Comey says, when it comes to men, you need a bang bang because you only use your hands and feet with women. He also talked about the way Diddy got a knee injury. How are you stomping people out with that knee injury? Anyway, right? Diddy talking about he eats chips all day. You want me to fool? That is my dream, to be able to eat chips all day. Shut up. Anyway, he says he lives with 25 people. I said, with 25 people, maybe. And then I started thinking, maybe that's how he got the shank and the guy over him. Maybe it wasn't over anything, but you know how, like, I guess in jail, don't they say they like to take your food? Maybe he was like, yo, those are my honey. What is it? Honey cheese puffs. Give them here. Those are my honey cheese puffs. And Diddy was like, no, they're mine. And he got over with a shank, and then all the people from his jail cell, because he said there's 25 in like one room. It sounds like they live in an apartment. There's kitchens, bathrooms everywhere. They probably grabbed his chips and was watching while Diddy was fighting for his life, reenacting season 1 of Oz. I was just sitting there like, I know this is supposed to make me feel sorry for Diddy, but I just have to laugh. Anyway, right? And then he said, and guess what, Your Honor? There are drugs in there. And Diddy's still clean. And I said, drug test that mofo. If that was me, I would have been like, guards, run a drug test. And make sure you check for Tucci first. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know Diddy. But then again, Diddy doesn't, I don't know. Does Diddy like men? Or does he like acting like using the woman as a tool because he wants to be that woman? I don't know. Anyway, he said there's violence in there. And I said, but I thought you ended violence. Then he said, Stacy22 said, T said, thank you so much for keeping us in the love. No, love your coverage and everything. Oh, thank you. So then he said the water is polluted. And I was like, so they don't have tap water in the MDC? I'm very, very confused because in America we have tap water. He said he has to boil water. He has to boil water, right? He hears screams from other people, right? He said, but the separation from family, that's the hardest. He swore he would be there for him when their mother died. And I said, well, I guess that freak off was more important. He gave an opportunity. He would give you an opportunity if you were from Harvard or if you were homeless. He said, Sean sees life the way it should be. I said, okay, right? He said the defense wants the tunnel vision. But in total, he's a good guy. If that's the case, then let him date your daughter, Brian. Do you have a daughter? Let him date him. Mark Adam, let him date your daughter. When they become of age, because I'm sure they're young, and Diddy's done with jail, since he's such a good guy, let him date your daughter. Why not? They got money. He's a credit to his race. Didn't you say that? He got money. Let him date your daughter. Right? You got that. Anyway, he said his businesses are gone. I said, hallelujah. He says he has no prestige or power. He's a fighter for civil rights leaders and equality. And he walks with young or old the same way. I said, they gonna stop literally painting Diddy like he is Martin Luther King mixed with Malcolm X and Mahatma Gandhi. He is a mess. Brian still was doing it. We haven't even gotten to the funniest part. Just Hope said, I'm going to eat a bag of barbecue potato chips. Thanks, Diddy. Jeez, I'm so proud of you. Thank you. When he said, listen, and they wouldn't let us out to go get snacks. And the whole time when they said he eats potato chips all day, I said, this is my dream right about now. There's more. Diddy says, Diddy told me he thinks he cursed his children with his name. He doesn't care about the money, drug addiction, violence, or abuse. All for the drugs, he's a different person. Is he? Because they had sober freak-offs and he was into the same stuff. Even in a broken state, all he thinks about are others. Jail is built for the hopeless and pain. There were gang fights. Sean changed that. He offered to let a person on parole to give a character reference. Oh, that's another thing. Brian still said, and if you let me, I have the number of somebody that was in jail with Diddy, and now he's on parole outside of jail, and if you want the number, he can address the court. And I was like, okay. He said he's going to get therapy to help his family heal. He said October 6th isn't a speaking engagement. It's healing for Sean. He's going to do that all over America. And I said, so speaking engagements, let's move on. But listen, He said, but we need to get to the root of the cause. He said, use them, Your Honor, as a tool. It was ridiculous. He said, Sean's mad he took his happiness from family. John Leonard said, I'm a violent man. Brian said, this is another thing, Brian still says he spent time in prison as an inmate. And he said that it's just like The Walking Dead. Hey, Eileen Negron, what's going on? Anyway, he said, then Brian still, and this is why I say I think Brian still got Diddy more time. Then he says, you know, these freak-offs, right? And you're saying that Cassie was a victim and all this other stuff. Brian still then stands in court and says, he said, let me just read the transcript. Cassie loved it, wanted to make him happy. Freak-off time she cherished with them. And here's the thing, Judge Aaron in his sentencing, Judge Aaron in that sentencing literally said, even now, you're still trying to classify what happened to Cassie as something that anybody would agree to. Brian's literally still pushing the issue that Cassie wasn't a victim, probably went from Diddy getting 2 years all the way to Diddy getting 4 years. So 4 years, 2 months. So thank you, Brian Still. Susie on the Sea said, thanks so much for your hard work. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so then, and this is, listen, then they brought in this pastor. Essay says, Brian Diddy Troy in the court is wild. As much as I feel terrible for the victims, which is genuinely depressing, his lawyer said this is Saturday Night Live. It was wild, but Judge Aaron didn't like that. That's why he got. But listen to this, because this is the most amazing thing that happened. They brought a pastor in, and this is why I don't mess with organized religion, because of this ish. Reverend Johnson, right? He said that he started getting calls like, yo, can you go talk to Diddy? He was like, yeah, whatever. They was like, yo, I'll get your flight. He was like, whatever. Yo, I'll pay for you to stay there, or whatever. He said, and after I started getting all these calls, the people said that they would pay him. He said, then it occurred to me, it takes a community, and maybe I should go visit him. And he said it in that pastor voice that makes him think he's saying something really deep, even though you just literally said the only reason you took interest in Sean Diddy Combs is because people offered to pay you money and did pay you money for you to come and look into this. He said, who are we to cast the first stone? Bitch, I'm me. That's who I am. Who are you to tell us not to cast the stone? You are not Jesus. Jesus was not in here writing character references for Sean Diddy Combs. I guarantee you that. Sean was a special kid. His own mom said Sean was a special kid. He's been good to me. Great. Okay. Right? He said, we want to be part of the solution. I said, why are you speaking French? We, what are you talking about? He said, Sean doesn't take sides. When he makes things, he doesn't take sides. When he makes his mind up, he takes over. This was a pastor saying this. He said, he'll take responsibility. He'll turn this opportunity you give him into an empire to help children, women, and the poor. Judge Aaron really fell for the bullshit that Diddy is going to come out of jail and turn this into an empire to help women and children. You guys, listen, it was an absolute mess. But listen, they're closing up. Yes, Lindsay Allo said special EDDFD. You guys, it was ridiculous. It was a shame. It was just... they let us know that Diddy flatlined on drugs. They said, again, he's not speaking. He said he's not on a speaking engagement. He's on teaching engagements, right? What else did they say? We're going to go into this in detail when I'm in, like, a warm area. Again, they kept saying they didn't know what the trigger for Diddy's anger was. But I was like, if you don't know what the trigger for Diddy's anger was, then, like, what are we really doing? He then went on to say... What else did he go on to say? The Jordan case. He goes out of respect. You guys, listen. They are clearing the courtyard. I'm gonna get out of here, go to my hotel. I'll be back on live later, and we're gonna have a call in if you want. I'll read the chat, read the questions, and you guys can ask me questions about anything that happened in court because I saw everything. Even Gina being rejected by the family and being forced to go sit in the back seat because none of the friends who didn't write letters, didn't do this, didn't do that, didn't whatever, the fact that Gina showed up in court, yo, and if it wasn't Gina, what's Gina look like? But I'm pretty sure that was Gina in court. Anyway, y'all, listen, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you at the hotel. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Oh my goodness. This was one of my favorites right here, man. She's listen. She tripping. Look, y'all, listen. I love when she says that, man. Let me break down something for y'all, man. It's playing a game of chess with these big dogs. People like Jay-Z, Diddy, dude. So many people will step in and pardon him or help him out or whatever the case may be. These people got some deep pockets, and they friends got deep pockets. So the judge had to take a lot of things into consideration. He had to give him some time. He was found guilty on 2 charges. You had to give him some time. I wish it was more. I really do wish it was more. I kept saying 6. Y'all remember that. I kept saying 6. Plenty of videos. You can go look it up. I stand on what I believe in. But think about it. They got John Gotti this way. They got my man Michael on the Fed's gonna come back with more charges, man. You don't collect 90 terabytes of information and you don't have no back plan. That's more solid. You know, you go out there, test the waters. It's playing chess. He make a move. It's a long time. So I think that the Feds definitely got like a whole year and some chump change, probably 2 years, to come up with some charges. Meanwhile, Diddy got a lot of civil cases that he got to go back and forth to. Diddy got Lil Rod case coming up. I need to start looking into that right now, the Lil Rod case. Also, spoiler alert, Jay-Z is being investigated. Or I don't know if it's tied together. I don't think it's tied together. Jay-Z being investigated, so y'all stay tuned for stuff like that. We didn't. I ain't even been following Tyler Perry, but we're gonna talk more about Diddy and his trial. I would love to know how the kids feel. Everybody thought he was coming home today. He must have thought he just knew he was coming home today, because that's got to hurt, man. That really got to hurt, because you making speaking engagements. Well, if I get out, I'll be there. They shouldn't even been bringing this up in court, but come find out that the Feds brought it up. I know they was like, dang, how you know that? And that was a good slap in the face, because that's letting the judge know, daggone, dude, you making arrangements to go speak somewhere, and we ain't even let you out. So since you think you getting out, I'm gonna slap you with this 3 more years, which was 4 years, 50 months. God dang, man, that sound ugly just saying it, man. 50 months. But no matter what, from day one, I kept saying Diddy gonna be in jail for a minute. He gonna sit that butt down for a minute. I kept saying that. I kept saying Diddy gonna be. They denied him bail, and he went again. I said they gonna deny him bail again. Then he went again, and I thought they was gonna let him have bail until he screwed up. He screwed up. That's when he started using somebody else's the cell phones and making calls and to do 3-way calls and stuff. I said, God dang, Diddy, you are a celebrity. They watching you with a microscope, man. You shouldn't be using somebody else's. And then just dumb lawyer come on talking about something. They always do that in jail. Just because they always do it don't mean it's right. Like that's just a little slap on. And Diddy, you can't follow no directions. And the judge did the best he could. He couldn't give him too much time, because then they're gonna try to appeal it too fast or something like that. I don't know how this game works. Somebody had mentioned that if he gave him too much time, Trump would say, "Oh, that's just too much. We gonna just get him out of there." You know, I don't think Trump would have got involved. Trump would have been like, "Oh well, I could get you out, but you talk bad about me, so sit there and do your time." So we just gotta wait and see, man. I really think that Diddy gonna sit down for a little bit. I think about at least a month ago past, and he gonna be like, God dang, yeah. I think he needs to do some time. I think 6 years would have been a little too much for somebody like a Diddy. I really, really think that 50 months is enough time to make a break. And when he get out, he should never, ever, nah, dog, I ain't putting no hit up. I'm not even going to send my people after nobody. Nope. You've been reading that Bible, you better believe in it. Diddy, you better believe in it. One person hanging up their gloves saying, I ain't doing no more evil. I have said that long time ago. I said, I'm not doing nothing evil, period. I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.